In early 2026, the global energy market was thrust into a state of high alert as oil prices surged to their highest levels in months. Triggered by intense diplomatic breakdowns and military strikes, the US and its allies surged assets into the region, signaling a major escalation. Market benchmarks Brent and WTI crude immediately spiked, with Brent surging past $71 a barrel in a matter of days. At the heart of the crisis lies the Strait of Hormuz, a critical energy corridor where 20% of the world's oil supply passes daily. Analysts warned that even a temporary closure of this passage could push prices toward a worst-case scenario of $140 per barrel. This geopolitical risk premium added nearly $12 to every barrel, reflecting the market's fear of imminent supply disruptions. Iran, pumping over 3 million barrels per day, accounts for nearly 5% of the global supply, making its stability vital. The US responded by intensifying its maximum pressure campaign, blacklisting tankers and intermediary companies involved in oil sales. Despite these efforts, a vast shadow fleet continues to operate, often switching off transponders to deliver oil to its primary buyers. China remains the primary buyer of this discounted crude, though even its purchases have fluctuated amidst the heightened regional risk. The impact is felt globally. A sustained rise in oil prices directly fuels inflation, impacting everything from transport to consumer goods. Emerging economies like India, which imports nearly 90% of its oil, face widened deficits and squeezed supply chains. To counter these shocks, OPEC+ nations and other producers have considered larger-than-planned production increases. Saudi Arabia has utilized its spare capacity to boost shipments, acting as a crucial stabilizer during periods of intense volatility. The U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve also stands ready, holding over 400 million barrels to buffer against short-term dislocations. This crisis has once again sparked intense debate over the importance of domestic production and long-term energy security. The volatility has also accelerated interest in alternative energy, as nations seek to reduce their reliance on imported fossil fuels. At the consumer level, high prices at the pump are driving a faster transition toward electric vehicles and public transportation. Global trade is also affected, with increased insurance and freight costs for shipping through high-risk zones like the Persian Gulf. Economists are closely watching how these energy costs might slow down global growth throughout the remainder of the year. Market speculation remains intense, with every headline from Washington or Tehran sending futures into new rounds of volatility. Diplomatic efforts continue behind the scenes, as international bodies work to prevent a full-scale regional conflict that could devastate markets. Interestingly, even large builds in U.S. crude inventories haven't been enough to offset the fear-driven risk premium in prices. The long-term outlook remains clouded, with the duration of the current crisis being the primary factor for future price stability. The world remains in a fragile balance, where any further disruption could have profound consequences for the global economy. Investment in extraction technology continues as producers seek ways to bring more oil to market more efficiently. Ultimately, energy policy is now more intertwined with geopolitics than ever before, requiring a coordinated global response. The future of the Persian Gulf and its energy corridors will remain the focus of the world's financial markets for years to come. As we've seen, the events in early 2026 have redefined our understanding of energy security and the power of geopolitical risk. Stay tuned for more updates as this situation continues to evolve. Thank you for watching our deep dive into the 2026 oil crisis.